What if the reason your life hasn't changed yet isn't because you lack talent, luck, or opportunity, but because you were never taught the rules that quietly govern success? Think about it for a moment. Every breakthrough you admire, every story of someone who rose from nothing, every overnight success that actually took years, followed certain laws, not opinions, not trends, laws. And whether you know them or not, they are shaping your life right now. The truth is, life is never random. Results are never accidental. There is a system working behind the scenes, and once you understand it, everything begins to make sense. Today's struggles, past failures, even the delays you don't understand yet, all start to reveal their purpose. This video is not about motivation that fades tomorrow morning. It's about principles that can permanently change how you think, decide, and act. If you've ever felt stuck despite working hard, if you've ever wondered why some people seem to move forward while others stay in the same place, this message is for you. Stay with me until the end, because one of these laws has the power to completely shift how you see yourself and your future. And once that shift happens, there is no going back. This may feel like just another video right now, but by the time it ends, you'll understand why this moment matters more than you realize. The law of definiteness of purpose is the foundation upon which every meaningful transformation in life is built, because nothing significant ever happens by accident or vague desire. When a person clearly defines what they want from life, their mind begins to organize itself around that goal, filtering opportunities, ideas, and decisions in alignment with that purpose. A definite purpose gives direction to energy, and energy without direction is wasted in confusion, doubt, and constant distraction. Many people work hard every day yet feel unfulfilled because their effort is scattered across too many directions, driven by pressure, fear, or habit rather than intention. The moment purpose becomes clear, effort becomes powerful because every action now carries meaning and momentum. A person with a definite purpose no longer asks, "What should I do today?" but instead asks, "Does this move me closer to my goal?" This shift changes how time is used, how choices are made, and how challenges are perceived. Obstacles no longer feel like punishment, but like tests that refine focus and strengthen commitment. Definite purpose also awakens inner discipline, because when the destination matters deeply, excuses lose their power. Even setbacks begin to serve a purpose, revealing lessons, adjustments, and hidden strengths that would otherwise remain dormant. Clarity of purpose creates emotional stability, because the mind is no longer pulled in opposite directions by external opinions or temporary circumstances. It anchors confidence, allowing a person to remain steady even when progress appears slow. With purpose, patience grows naturally, because the individual understands that worthwhile goals require time, consistency, and sacrifice. This law also activates faith, because when the goal is vividly defined, the mind can imagine its achievement, and what the mind can clearly imagine, it begins to believe is possible. That belief quietly shapes behavior, posture, tone, and persistence, influencing how others respond and how opportunities appear. A person without a definite purpose reacts to life, but a person with a definite purpose directs life. Over time, this direction compounds, turning small daily actions into extraordinary results. Purpose is not found by accident. It is chosen, decided, and committed to. Once decided, life begins to reorganize itself around that decision, revealing paths that were invisible before, strengthening resolve, and transforming effort into achievement. The law of thought and belief governs the invisible forces that shape every visible outcome in life. Be cow. Say, long before results appear in reality, they first take form in the mind. Every action begins as a thought, and every thought repeatedly entertained becomes a belief that influences behavior, attitude, and decision-making. When a person consistently thinks in terms of possibility, growth, and success, the mind begins to search for evidence that supports those thoughts, guiding actions in ways that align with those beliefs. In the same way, thoughts rooted in fear, limitation, or doubt quietly program the mind to expect failure, often creating it without conscious intention. Belief acts as the emotional fuel behind thought, transforming ideas into conviction and conviction into consistent action. A thought without belief is weak and temporary, but a thought combined with belief becomes powerful and persistent. This is why two people can face the same situation and experience completely different outcomes, because their internal beliefs determine how they interpret challenges, risks, and opportunities. The mind does not distinguish between imagined experiences and real ones. It responds to what is repeatedly impressed upon it. Over time, repeated thoughts shape habits, habits shape character, and character shapes destiny. This law explains why confidence attracts opportunity and doubt repels it, not through chance, but through behavior, energy, and perception. When belief is strong, effort becomes natural and resilience increases because the individual expects progress even in difficulty. Failures are no longer seen as proof of inadequacy, but as feedback guiding improvement. Thought and belief also influence how others respond, as certainty communicates itself through tone, posture, and persistence, often earning trust and cooperation. This inner alignment creates momentum, making goals feel achievable rather than distant. To apply this law, a person must become consciously aware of their dominant thoughts and challenge those that contradict their desired future. Beliefs are not fixed truths. They are conditioned patterns that can be replaced through repetition, emotion, and action. By intentionally choosing empowering thoughts and reinforcing them with consistent behavior, belief begins to shift. As belief shifts, actions improve, decisions sharpen, and results follow naturally. Life does not respond to wishes or hopes alone, but to deeply held beliefs expressed through persistent action. When the mind is trained to expect success, it begins to act in ways that make success inevitable. The law of persistence is the quiet force that separates those who merely desire change from those who actually achieve it, because progress in life is rarely immediate or predictable. Most worthwhile goals require sustained effort over time, often without visible results in the early stages, and it is during this phase that many people give up. Persistence is not blind repetition, but a deep commitment to continue moving forward despite doubt, delay, and temporary defeat. Every challenge tests resolve, revealing whether the goal is a passing wish or a serious decision. When a person persists, the mind adapts, strategies evolve, and resilience strengthens, making each attempt more effective than the last. Temporary failure is not a signal to stop, but an invitation to learn, adjust, and grow stronger. Those who succeed are not immune to setbacks. They simply refuse to let setbacks define the end of their journey. Persistence transforms obstacles into training grounds where patience, discipline, and confidence are forged. The world often yields not to talent or intelligence alone, but to endurance, because consistent effort compounds in ways that occasional bursts of motivation cannot. With persistence, momentum eventually replaces struggle, and what once felt difficult becomes natural. This law also builds inner faith, as each small act of endurance reinforces the belief that progress is possible, even when results are delayed. Doubt weakens and persistence is present, because action leaves no room for fear to dominate. Many people quit not because they are incapable, but because they underestimate the time required for growth and mastery. Persistence corrects this misunderstanding by teaching that success is a process, not an event. It strengthens character, creating emotional stability in uncertain conditions and the ability to remain focused when distractions appear. Over time, persistent effort changes identity, as a person begins to see themselves as someone who finishes what they start. This self-image fuels further persistence, creating a powerful cycle of progress. Persistence also attracts opportunity because those who continue moving forward are more likely to recognize and act on openings others overlook. Life tests commitment before it rewards achievement, and persistence is the answer to that test. When effort is sustained long enough, resistance weakens, clarity increases, and results emerge naturally. Persistence does not guarantee immediate success, but it makes eventual success unavoidable. The law of self-discipline is the ability to direct thoughts, emotions, and actions toward a chosen purpose rather than surrendering to impulse, comfort, or distraction. It is the inner structure that turns intention into execution, because without discipline, even the strongest desire fades under pressure. Self-discipline begins in the mind, where a person learns to pause before reacting, choosing response over impulse and reason over emotion. This control creates freedom, not restriction, because it allows an individual to act according to long-term goals rather than short-term feelings. Many people mistake discipline for punishment, but in truth it is an act of self-respect, a decision to honor future rewards over immediate gratification. When discipline is practiced daily, Small choices compound into powerful habits that shape identity and outcomes. Time becomes an ally instead of an enemy, as focused effort replaces scattered activity. Self-discipline also strengthens confidence because every kept promise to oneself reinforces trust in one's ability to follow through. This internal trust becomes the foundation of leadership, influence, and personal power. Emotional discipline allows a person to remain calm under pressure, think clearly in moments of uncertainty, and act effectively rather than emotionally. Mental discipline trains attention, reducing distraction and increasing clarity, making it easier to recognize opportunities and avoid unnecessary conflict. Physical discipline supports energy and endurance, ensuring the body aligns with the demands of ambition. Together, these forms of discipline create balance and control, allowing consistent progress even when motivation fluctuates. Discipline does not eliminate struggle, but it reduces chaos, replacing it with order and intention. It also builds resilience, because disciplined individuals learn to act even when conditions are uncomfortable or unfavorable. Over time, discipline reshapes character, transforming effort into excellence and potential into reliability. People who master self-discipline become dependable to others and powerful within themselves because they are no longer ruled by mood or circumstance. Life rewards those who can govern themselves, as self-control translates into trust, opportunity, and long-term success. Mastery of self is the gateway to mastery of any goal worth pursuing. The law of value and service reveals that life rewards contribution far more than intention, because the measure of a person's success is directly linked to the value they create for others. Every form of achievement, whether financial, professional, or personal, grows in proportion to the problems a person helps solve and the needs they fulfill. When focus shifts from personal gain to meaningful contribution, effort becomes more impactful and opportunities expand naturally. Value is not defined by effort alone, but by usefulness, relevance, and the ability to improve someone else's situation. A person who commits to service develops skills, insight, and empathy, all of which increase their worth in any environment. Service creates trust, and trust is the foundation of influence, leadership, and long-term success. Those who consistently add value become indispensable, not because they demand attention, but because their presence improves outcomes. This law teaches that abundance flows toward those who think beyond themselves, recognizing that progress is multiplied through cooperation rather than competition. By focusing on service, a person shifts from chasing rewards to attracting them, as recognition often follows genuine contribution. Service also refines character because it requires patience, responsibility, and humility, strengthening both competence and credibility. When value is prioritized, obstacles are viewed as opportunities to innovate and improve, not as barriers to success. This mindset encourages continuous growth, as serving others effectively demands learning, adaptation, and excellence. The more value one offers, the wider the impact, and with impact comes increased demand and opportunity. Service creates momentum because each contribution opens doors to new connections, ideas, and resources. Life responds to usefulness, rewarding those who elevate others with expanded possibilities and fulfillment. When a person aligns their goals with service, work becomes meaningful, and effort feels purposeful rather than draining. This law also fosters long-term success, as value-based achievement is resilient to change and disruption. Trends may shift and systems may evolve, but the ability to serve remains timeless. Those who dedicate themselves to adding value build legacies rooted in contribution, trust, and significance. True success is not measured by what is taken, but by what is given and multiplied through service. The law of faith and expectation governs how outcomes are shaped long before they appear, because what a person confidently expects influences how they think, act, and respond to life. Faith is not passive hope or wishful thinking. It is an inner conviction that purposeful effort will lead to meaningful results. When expectation is positive and steady, the mind remains alert to opportunity and resilient in the face of delay. A person who expects progress behaves differently from one who expects failure, even when circumstances appear the same. Expectation shapes attitude, and attitude determines behavior, influencing decisions, tone, persistence, and confidence. Faith strengthens action by removing hesitation, allowing consistent effort without constant reassurance. Doubt weakens momentum, but faith sustains it, especially during periods when results are not yet visible. The mind naturally moves toward what it anticipates, interpreting experiences in ways that align with expectation. When faith is present, challenges are viewed as temporary and purposeful rather than final or personal. This perspective encourages learning and adaptation instead of withdrawal or fear. Faith also reinforces emotional stability, helping individuals remain calm and focused under pressure. It reduces anxiety about outcomes by shifting attention to effort and process rather than immediate results. Expectation influences how others respond as well, as confidence often inspires trust and cooperation, opening doors that uncertainty keeps closed. This law explains why belief in success often precedes success itself, as conviction fuels persistence and resilience. Faith grows through repetition, evidence, and reflection, strengthening each time effort is rewarded, even in small ways. It is reinforced by clarity of purpose and disciplined action, forming a cycle of belief and achievement. When expectation is aligned with intention, effort becomes consistent and energized. Life tends to meet those expectations that are backed by action, persistence, and integrity. Faith does not guarantee ease, but it provides endurance, helping individuals continue moving forward when motivation fades. Over time, expectation becomes self-fulfilling, shaping habits, relationships, and results. Those who cultivate faith and expectation create an inner environment where success feels natural rather than accidental. As we bring this message to a close, remember that these laws are not theories or motivational ideas meant to inspire you for a moment and then fade. They are timeless principles that quietly govern every result you see in life. When you choose a clear purpose, train your thoughts and beliefs, persist through resistance, discipline yourself daily, commit to serving others with value, and hold faith in the outcome, you begin to operate in harmony with forces that have guided every great achievement in history. Life does not change overnight, but it always responds to alignment. Small decisions made consistently reshape character, habits, and destiny. The moment you decide to live by these laws, your mindset shifts, your actions gain direction, and your confidence grows stronger. You stop reacting to circumstances and start shaping them. Challenges no longer appear as signs to quit, but as confirmation that growth is taking place. These laws work whether you believe in them or not, but they reward those who apply them intentionally. When practiced daily, they transform ordinary effort into extraordinary results and turn potential into purpose-driven success. What you do next matters more than what you have heard, because knowledge becomes power only when it is applied with discipline and faith. I wish you the courage to commit, the patience to persist, and the confidence to trust the process even when the path feels uncertain. May your efforts be rewarded with clarity, growth, and fulfillment as you move forward with purpose. Thank you for giving your time, your attention, and your belief in the possibility of change. Good luck on your journey, and may this message serve as a turning point in your life.